Hello, welcome back on my YouTube channel. I'm back again with another video. So I've been thinking about making this video for a while now. So I wanted to make it to be something that a lot of people um, can get help from, and I wanted to be authentic as much. I wanted to be authentic as much. uh, I, I want I wanted it to be the most, not that other videos that I have created. I just want it to be authentic as much. So I'm not gonna try to use other people's way, but I'm gonna, if I have to refer, whether I have to make example with other people or anything, and it's gonna be okay. Obviously I'm gonna share, it's my own perspective, it's my own truth, the way I used to stay true to myself. So this video is about how to stay true to yourself, because sometimes staying true to yourself, if you are in your 20s, 30s, or even if you are in your teen years, being a teen, whatever age that you're actually in, it can be hard. Like I've been like, you know what, 20s are actually weird years. So I'm like, oh, like I'm in my 20s. So like, a lot of things happen when you're in your 20s. So staying true, it's something that is gonna help you a lot when you're still in your journey, self-discovery, trying to find yourself, trying to find your own path, your life purpose, what exactly is your soul mission, what is exactly that you want to attain, how you're gonna attain that, the friendship that you wanna surround yourself, what you want, where, what you want to be at, all that. Because eventually, even if you're in your 20s, it's not easy to just say in your 20s you're gonna have it all figured out, because you are unlearning a lot of self-healing, a lot of doing, a lot of mistakes, a lot of everything. Like, you're making a lot of mistakes, but at the same time you are learning from them. So yeah, so staying true to yourself, it's something that a lot of us, sometimes we are being triggered to the point that we feel like, is it worth it, so I'm just gonna state a few points how to stay true to yourself despite whatever that is happening world. And I know a lot of situations, just for example, what is actually happening, the war and everything, the war that's actually between Russia and Ukraine. I think a lot of things that are actually happening, like staying true can be difficult, being grounded can be difficult as hell. And you know when you're experiencing it as something like a war, you end up developing a lot of survival way of getting through things. So being surviving and living, it's something that is extremely different. So surviving, it can be something that you do without realizing that you're actually surviving rather than living. So it creates a lot of poverty mentality. So I'm just gonna state a lot about staying true to yourself, like without any kind of like I mean staying true to yourself without trying to view life in a poverty way, in a whatsoever that is not aligned with you, because we are constantly evolving, we are constantly asking, but eventually it's something that is actually that you do, that you commit, that you create devotion towards, to when you're speaking about evolving yourself, so what I'm trying to say by staying true to yourself, just forget about what other people's are actually doing. Focus on you, focus what is exactly is happening on you. But I'm not saying be egoistic, be selfish, be whatsoever, be a douchebag. No, I'm not trying to talk about that. I'm talking about staying true to yourself in a manner of stop noticing what other people are actually doing. Not stop noticing what other people. It's okay to have people that are actually around you that are actually getting babies, that are getting married, that are probably they're having their own first car, and you feel like you are not doing enough. They are finding their life purpose while you're still in a late, while you're still a late bloomer, while you're still not having anything that is attained. Probably you're actually losing a job, and then you have the anxiety of starting over, the anxiety of doing like a lot of things that you were not prepared, like, because life is unpredictable. You will never predict anything. You never say yes. Sometimes you will be feeling like, you know what, everything that I want is already here. But it's okay to have a positive mindset, a upward mindset, to say everything that I actually want is already here. Whatever that I need is already gravitating towards me, because eventually everything that you want is gravitating towards you. It's okay to have that kind of positivity, that abundant mindset. But what I'm trying to say about staying true to yourself, not minding what other people are actually doing, because eventually a lot of people are successful on social media. Nobody is actually showing themselves as someone that is not successful. And then you would ever wonder, like, how? Because eventually in real life, when you're meeting people, you can tell they're not doing exactly good as they show it on your social media. So you'd be like, oh fuck, like, I am a person who, okay, I do have social medias, and I don't, there is a bad and a good side about having social media, but sometimes we use the social media to capture the moments, the good ones. Then we trade this thing that we're actually having a lot of things that are actually going on, that are our, a lot of things that are actually going on, that is success or whatsoever. We don't share so much about our failures. We don't share so much about our own anxiety when we're experiencing panic attack, we're experiencing some bad moments. So we're sharing that. Even now, people share so much about funerals and stuff. They don't share the how they actually feel most of the time. They just say share pictures, what they were wearing, where was the funeral at. So you'll be like, oh, okay. So yeah, just forget about what other people are actually doing. Forget about what is happening with other people. Okay, your friend is actually purchasing a new car. Probably you're still stuck with the old car, or you haven't had even a car. Probably you're 24, you still don't have your own car, and it's okay. Just stay true to yourself. You don't have a car now, it's okay, but it doesn't mean you won't have it later. So yes, your friends are getting married, your friends are purchasing a new house, like they are getting promotion, while you're still stuck with the age of, you are 24, you're still stuck in your internship. So you know what I'm talking about. It's okay. Just forget about other people that are actually doing. Not late. You're exactly where you are meant to be. You are exactly where you're supposed to be, and you are exactly where you are meant to be right now. But it doesn't mean, because you are meant to be where you're at right now, it doesn't mean you're not going to experience any progress in your life. You're still going to experience a lot of progress. Stagnation is just a phase, just like everything is a phase. And secondly, do things intentionally. Everything that you do it intentionally, because when you're ever doing something intentionally, it helps with knowing that you are actually doing things because you wanted to do them, and you have your why are you actually doing it, why are you actually here, like, do things intentionally. Everything that you do it intentionally. Have intentions. Because whenever you're doing something with zero intention, probably will be like, oh, I saw my neighbors purchasing a new furniture, and then you'll be like, you fall triggered because your furniture is actually old. and then you want to purchase the furniture just because you saw a neighbor purchasing one. Are you intentionally, or you're just coping? Because coping what other people actually doing, it's so unnecessary. You're gonna purchase a new couch. I know you bought a new your couch, probably you bought them as a second hand, and your neighbors already purchasing a second furniture, and the first one was also not a second hand. Instead, they bought it a new furniture, not second hand. No, you don't have to have it all figured out to the point that when you're actually starting moving to a new house, it's not, you're not always gonna have it all, like the material that you actually need, the furniture, everything. Just start with whatever that you actually have. So start intentionally, not because everyone is doing it, not everyone is having it. Just do it intentionally. What is exactly your intention for starting this life coaching course? What are you willing to achieve? What are your expectation with this course? What are you expecting from yourself with doing this course? It's your intention for starting that course, because as much as sometimes when you're starting a whatever course that you're actually starting, you're not always going to be motivated to continue with whatever that you're actually doing. So your intentions will always keep you focused, keep you from the goal that you actually have from the beginning. So the second, okay, I mentioned that forget what other peoples are doing around you. Secondly, do things intentionally. Thirdly, your principles, values, are you everything? To stay true to yourself. Sometimes you will be ashamed of the way that you are viewing life. Probably your perspective. You find people, like you are in a group or in a table, and people like you're sharing or they're sharing your opinions, and then you be feeling like you are left out because your opinion is not exactly as other people's opinion, and you're feeling like maybe I shouldn't. You're feeling ashamed for no reason, just because you are different. You choose to have a different opinion. Other people, yes, they may have something like they get along very well, they make sense with whatever that you're both, whatever that you're all sharing at the moment, and then you're feeling like you are left out, feeling like maybe I'm my thinking, the way I perceive life is different than others, and then you're feeling ashamed for sharing your way or your opinion, your perspective with whatever that you are actually discussing. Just forget about that. Being ashamed for viewing life the way you view is not gonna help you with anything. Share it, even if you are scared, even if you feel like you are crazy, even if you feel like nobody's gonna listen. Someone who's gonna listen. Probably that opinion that you keep on holding, your truth, your own truth. It's something that is gonna help other people in whatever manner. It's okay to have a different opinion. So whenever you are actually surrounded by people, we all different, so we have our own principles and values. Sometimes our own principles and values can sound the same, or sometimes they are the same. And then don't be so attached to the point that you feel like you have to have other people who actually share the same I mean, you have the other person supposed to have the same opinion as you. Don't be so codependent into the point that your voice is something that you are embarrassed about, you are ashamed about, just because other people are not sharing the same views as you. You're feeling misunderstood, because being misunderstood is a trauma itself. So when you never every time you are around people, you're constantly being misunderstood, it can create a lot of trauma to the point that you are actually ashamed of the way you actually expressing yourself, the way you choose, the choice of words, the way you speak. Sometimes even our vocabulary is different. My vocabulary as other people's vocabulary is different. Sometimes I'll be like, oh wow, I wish I can have that vocabulary. Because I was strolling on my Facebook, and then I came across this long kind of essay, and then I was like, who wrote this essay? Her English was just perfect, and you know what? And I was like, I was finding myself shaming myself with that. Was like, you know what? I need to work on my English. I'm still working on my English because obviously we are constantly learning. English is something that I feel like we will continue to learn. I am not perfect with my English. I am not English speak like I'm not what do they mention? What do they say? It's a English speaker. I don't consider myself as English speaker as much as, okay, I read a lot of English books, and but I'm not an English speaker. I am not, English is not my original language, or is not a language that it's not my mother's tongue. So it's a language that I actually learn because most of the time we engage with people through English. So I was shaming myself. I was like, look at how she speaks, the way she does everything. I was comparing myself to this woman. I was like, oh shit, her vocabulary, her choice of words and everything. So I was like, I find myself like, hello, snap out of it. We are different for a reason. Yes, it's okay to improve your vocabulary, it's okay to improve your English, but don't shame yourself in the process. So as I mentioned, firstly, how to stay true to yourself. I mentioned oh, but the second one was staying intentionally. Third one, oh shit, I forgot a lot of things. Okay, I need, the thing is, whenever I wrote it down, I tend to forget it, but it's okay. So I'm talking about how to stay true to yourself. Another point is stop comparing yourself. Like, stop comparing yourself, which is the same as the first point where I mentioned that I think I mentioned something like stop focusing what other people are doing. Instead, focus on what exactly is happening in your own universe, little universe. It's okay to have people that are inspiring you, that are inspiring, and you feel inspired by them, but don't compare yourself to them. And whenever another thing to stay true to yourself. Okay, I mentioned that the third one is principles and your values. Your principles and values are everything. Like, they are your everything. It's okay, obviously, to exercise them a little bit to expand what you already had. And sometimes your principles and values, they need to be constantly re-evaluated by you in terms of we are growing, right? So sometimes we trade those principles and values around trauma. When we're trading things, when we're actually traumatized by whatever circumstance will traumatize us, we tend to traits even our own principles and values from that point, from the way we view it, things with trauma. And then our principles need to be constantly re-evaluated. Do they align with you now? Because sometimes you'll be like, oh, I don't do this, only to find out it's because you for example, I went out on a date with a guy, but there is actually have two kids from different mothers, and it's still not my preference. There's nothing wrong with the guy who's actually having two kids from different mothers or anything, because life itself is weird. So, and I was like, why I view this guy as irresponsible, but there were actually a lot of things that show that this guy is actually responsible. It's just that it happened that he got a baby from because the first one got he got the baby. The first one, I think, was 31, and the second one, he was 40, because he's turning 45. So he got the second one when he was 40, and from different mothers. So I was like, it shows a lot of sense of responsibility. So I was like, why I view them like that? And I was like, oh shit, it's just because I have a father who have a lot of babies from a lot of women. So it never tend to care about them and whatsoever. It's like, oh shit, I need to stop viewing people with my own trauma, you know. So I was projecting, you know. So I was like, nah, stop doing that. So yeah, I'm talking about that when I'm telling that your principles and values sometimes they need to be re-evaluated. Of course, they're still not my preference, but sometimes I view them with my trauma. I end up judging them just because I'm traumatized, you know. I end up projecting what is unnecessary. Another point, as I said, the first one, for stop worrying about other people that are actually doing. Secondly, do things intentionally. Thirdly, your principles and values, they are your everything. Stop being ashamed about how you live, how you want to do whatsoever. And fourthly, I'm gonna say this. Stop, like, find something that are your passion, something that makes you feel smart. Find things that makes you feel smart. When I'm talking about something that makes you feel smart, we are all, I think the old the the old the guy is then whatsoever the when Newton's oh fuck inventor Newton blah 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 inventor, the physician, is he the physician, a chemistry, I think he said everyone is smart in something. And yes, we're gonna talk about find something that you're passionate about and all that. But I'm just gonna tell you this: find something that makes you feel smart. For example, psychology is everything to me. Spirituality is everything to me. Find something that makes you feel smart, because whenever you want find something that makes you feel smart, you wanna outgrown the information that you already have. You wanna constantly develop from the information that you already have. You are constantly finding books that nature that you want to pursue, do courses that are actually nature that. So whenever you're opening certain books, you'll be like, oh shit, oh wow, oh, that aha moment, because it makes you feel smart. Focus on things that actually makes you feel smart. For example, if you know that mathematics is everything to you, find it, just focus on it, improve it, just keep on practicing until you'll be like, you know what, I'm understanding this better. So I'm talking about this kind of things. When you focus on things that actually make you feel smart, because everyone is smart. Whenever I'm looking at the makeup artist on YouTube, I'm like, shit, she's good in whatever she's doing. I see a guru, I'm like, she's a fucking guru. When I'm watching someone who's doing something, and then I'm like, damn, she's good, she's like a bakery, someone who bake, and I'm like, wow. Like, because it's something that I'm not smart at. So because I'm not smart at, whenever I see someone who's passionate about it, who's doing with love, because whenever you're doing something that make you smart, you end up doing with love, patience whatsoever. Even if you're a musician, you're gonna try to wanna be a new upcoming artist, and then you'll be like, in the process you realize, you know what, I need to improve myself. I don't like how my music sounds. I just want to improve the from the first one that I made. I wanted to do a better one than the first one. You know, it makes you feel smart, it makes you feel like, you know what, I'm the shit. So it helps you being true to yourself when you're doing things that are actually like that. Sometimes you're gonna meet some other people when you're still doing something that you that makes you feel smart. Because whenever you're doing something that makes you feel smart, you know, we're not all gonna start from there. We're all gonna start down from nothing. Some of us from nothing to make it up. So whenever you're studying something, whenever you're studying something from down, from the lower the lowest point where you have nothing, whereby you hit rock bottom, and then you have to pick yourself up. And then what's gonna happen from there? You gonna meet a lot of people, be like, how is your little things going? Are you sure you're gonna be a musician? A lot of people have a voice, and they can't do anything about it. You're just wasting your time, man. Stop doing that. And be like, what? So you're always gonna meet people that actually always gonna try to discourage you, and that is okay. The fact that they are coming at you, it just means we're on the right path. If you're just gonna do something, nobody's gonna be mean to you. Are you sure that you're doing something that makes you feel smart? Are you sure? Because eventually, whenever you're doing something that makes you feel smart, a lot of people, like, they're gonna try to stop you from doing it. Like, what are you doing it? Like, what? Like, can you all tell that can you all tell that she must stop dreaming? She must stop fantasizing. Life is not fantasy. She need to find a job. She need to do the way other people are doing it. Who does she think she is? You'll be like, why are these people actually worried? It's not like you're taking their money or anything. You're not doing anything. You're not taking their peace away from them. You're not doing any shit to them. But they have meetings after meetings discussing you. You'll be like, why are they bothered by it? Because you are not taking any money. Probably you're not even asking help from them. And you'll be like, why are they actually having meeting? Because you are doing something that makes you smart, that makes you stay true to yourself. So when you're staying true to yourself, just forget about the hype. The hype is just a temporary thing. Everything that is trending is temporary. When you see me having these locks, probably it's trending now. But it doesn't mean just because it's trending something that I don't love. I love my locks, but it's something that I actually love, because eventually when I started my locks, I didn't have a lot of support. People, not that I wanted to support, it's something that I knew that locks, it's something that I love. I always loved locks since I was young. So when I started them, a lot of people were saying a lot of shit, and I was the first person in my bloodline who ever started locks. So a lot of shit happened. A lot of people were saying whatever. So they were trying to stop me from doing something that I actually love. So locks make me feel smart. I can tell a lot of things about locks, but when you were asking me about other things, I have no idea. I was just doing it because other people are doing it. So you know what I'm talking about. A lot of people were saying a lot, and I was asking myself, I'm not even taking their money, I'm not even asking them to do anything. Why are they bothered with the journey that I'm starting, with my locks journey, with my spirituality? So whatever that I was doing, my interest in psychology, my interest, like my end was like my end and oh fuck, what the fuck. I can't speak. So like, I'm talking about that, just do whatever that makes you feel smart. So it's okay to feel lost sometimes we do get lost, and it's okay, it's part of life. We're not supposed to, we're not gonna, sometimes we need to surrender. We feel constant going and going, we won't have it. I mean, we won't understand why, because I'm saying that if we're constantly going and going, we're gonna exhaust ourselves. We need to surrender sometimes, and it's okay. Sometimes our way of listening to surrender, it's us getting lost, and then we're getting lost, and then eventually gonna surrender, because you are lost now and you need to guidance. Sometimes we, when you are setting a goal, we end up wanting that goal. The only thing that matters is that goal, and it's okay to operate from that, but eventually you will need to. Getting lost is another way of finding the path again, and it's life, that how it is. So thank you guys for listening to me being myself, and I really appreciate the likes, the viewers, the people who are actually subscribing on my YouTube channel. I really appreciate the love and support. I am grateful for the love and support. Thank you. I'm actually making the video later, and my eyes have been doing a lot, and sleeping is something that I'm struggling with lately. So thank you guys, as I said, for liking, for subscribing on my YouTube channel. Bye.